Assalamu alaikum. This is Sakib and welcome to my channel Programming with Sakib. So now I'm going to solve Codeforces round 997 div 2. Problem B, find the permutation. So this is a graph problem because they gave a graph. So I'm not reading the whole question. I'm directly jumping to the problem summary. In this problem, they mentioned us. They gave us a graph with n vertices labeled 1 to n. The graph is encoded as a adjacency matrix G. G of ij value is 1. G of ij equal G of ij equal 1 if it will indicate there is an edge between vertex p of I and vertex p of j. If G of ij is equal 0, no edge exists between their vertices. If ij equal g of ij, if g of ij is equal g of ji, the graph is undirected, and if I and I equal 0, there is a self loop. So the graph is constructed using a hidden permutation P for I is less than j. There is an edge between vertices p of I and p of j if and only if p of I is less than p of j. We need to reconstruct the p from the adjacency matrix. So uh, they gave us 3 test cases and one solving permutation tree. So now let's discuss how the problem can be solved. So we have to reconstruct the permutation. So we need the adjacency matrix that given us information about the relative order of p of i's element. For each vertices I count how many other vertices it wins against based on the adjacency matrix. This tells us the position of P. So we need a logic to solve the problem. The problem solving logic will be if g of I j equals 0 for j less than I, the vertices loses. If ij equal 1, j is greater than I, the vertices wins against those. By iterating through the by iterating through the matrix, we can determine the correct position for the matrix in the permutation. So in the solution, we need to read the code. So here is the code that I have solved. In the first, there are a number of test cases. For each test case, I read n number of vertices and the n into n adjacency matrix. I initialized an array answer of size n to store reconstructed permutation. For each vertices I means vertex I determine to its position by iterating through the matrix to count the matrix of edges as per the conditions, which these are the conditions, and At last, I assign the vertices to the appropriate position in ans, which is this ans, and finally output is the reconstructed permutation. So if I try to make you visualize the explanation, imagine a grid representing the adjacency matrix where rows and columns corresponded to the vertices A1 in the cell G, I, and J indicates an edge between vertices P of I and J. And steps like starts with the adjacency matrix and determine the relative order to vertices by analyzing rows and columns for each vertices and construct the permutation based on the relationships. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, comment down below. I'll try to answer. Till then, happy coding.